Hello and welcome back to the Try Time podcast channel. I'm Matt.
And I'm Callum.
And on today's video, we're going to take a look at the 5 best kits ahead of the 2020 NRL season. And without further ado, let's jump straight
in. Why not?
When we're kicking off at number 5 with the New Zealand Warriors Indigenous kit, which Callum, since he's the one that is the big lover of this kit, is going to talk through. Why do you like this one?
I got this to number 5 basically because I like how it's got like the people, like the obviously Indigenous people, like and the stomach. I don't know what it's going to look like on, if it's going to look as good.
I'm imagining the portly gentleman wearing that is going to be a bit.
Yeah, but I imagine when it's a nice tight kit, it's going to look good. I like sort of how like they've got the badges, and then it's the sort of like black that sort of opens up around the badges so it doesn't cover them. And then the Vodafone, I think, fits well and goes well with the colour because there's that little bits of hints of red in there in sort of like the design. I think it looks really smart. There's a lot going on it, but I think to say they're not going to wear it every single week, I think when they do, I think it's going to look really good.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have anything to add to it? Or, I mean, I sort of sold you it, didn't I, really?
Yeah, you're the one that's got it here. So we'll move on to number 4, and we're going to stick with the New Zealand Warriors.
And this is
the one I've got here, and this is the alternate shirt. Well, one of two they've got. They also had the picnic blanket, but that may or may not crop up later. Yeah. You'll have to keep watching to find out. I like the grey colouring of this. I think it's really different and looks... It's like it's going to stand out ahead of the typical white shirts.
Yeah.
The inverse colours on the Vodafone really pop on this shirt. Again, it's probably by virtue of not having the white on the grey, which would look a bit more washed out. But what really is the subtle thing that makes this kit is the Aboriginal artwork throughout the black V on this kit. I can't remember the exact reason they're wearing it now. It's something that happened in Wellington years ago. Can't remember what it is. But whatever the reason, it's a smart shirt and a fitting tribute to whatever may.
Yeah, personally, I like how clean it is. I like the sort of how the Maori is fit in the V, and like the rest of it is so clean, and then it makes that look better because it's not all over. It's just in that V, and it looks neat. I like it. It's smart.
NRL fans, Warriors fans, comment down below. What's the history behind this kit? Please educate us.
We're just two pommy boys who don't really know much about... Well, we know about the NRL, but we don't know about as much about the
We don't know all about the history. It's like when you get to Anzac Day and everything.
Yeah.
We're blabbing. Let's go on to number 3. One of my favourites.
Yeah, I personally love it as well. I like just the Gold Coast Titans away kit. It is, and I just love how it's like it sort of looks like it's kind of fading, but then it's not as well. It's kind of like you have to have a good look at it. I just like how it's something different.
The longer you look at it, the more you appreciate its beauty.
Yeah.
The shades of blue, very ocean-like. I really like that design on the kit. The little triangles that had the fade effect are smart, and I can't wait to see Callum Watkins rip the NRL up in that kit.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly think that's going to look good on as well. It's weird because when you first look at it, it kind of looks see-through and like the way that the colours fade, and then you have a good look and you're like,
of course, Callum jumps to see-through.
No, but it's like I can see through it, and then I appreciate this kit, and I don't think the design Ned's big on.
The sponsor doesn't do it a huge amount of favours, but equally I quite like the orange on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It fits. Even though it doesn't, it's out there. But it's not. It doesn't jump out at me as the first thing.
It's a very oceanic kit. I get the feeling of.
It's a Gold Coast. That's why.
Exactly.
And I'm a fan.
Jumping on to number 2 now, and we're heading to the Women in League round, particularly the Cronulla Sharks Women in League jersey.
I really like this personally. I just think really the colour are like the purple, different shades of purple, and how it's like a gradient, and like I just think it looks really smart.
Dark in the middle and at the edges, fades from light into dark with the blue, the pink, the lilac. It's a brilliant shirt.
And the sponsor in the middle sort of doesn't really look out of place.
No, it doesn't. The white stands out well. Like I say, it's on one of the darker patches. To keep mentioning the shading again.
And the pink as well around the collar and the trimmings on
Some teams try to adapt their own shirts too much to the pink, and it doesn't always work.
Cronulla have gone out on a bit here.
This is brilliant.
And I think it's a really good appreciation of the Women in League. I really think it's going to look good.
I do. It's a fitting tribute to a worthwhile game week.
Definitely up there.
But it just misses out on top spot
and
again.
it's just as well.
And
it's
it's
close.
Callum who sold this one with something in a few weeks you might well be seeing him wearing on the podcast.
Yeah, because I want to buy it. I want to buy it so bad.
He's set a challenge now.
Back onto the Indigenous. It's the North Queensland Cowboys Indigenous jersey, and they've been known for some amazing Indigenous jerseys that are more built around their sort of like, I don't know what their classic with the Toyota sort of, the Toyota below the Toyota logo, and like their classic look. But I think they've gone a bit out there now, and I think it is so smart.
I like the turtles.
Green. Honestly,
the whole Aboriginal artwork looks fantastic.
And the Toyota fits as well. I think it fits.
It does, yeah. I think it looks better being a band across. I think that makes the jersey work more with the design going on underneath it.
Looks smart. It looks smooth.
The top half of the jersey's standard Indigenous, really. There's not too much going on in terms of compared to what's below it. And like you say, having it as a band across the shirt really allows the artwork to pop and you to create more of a picture on the shirt.
Definitely. You know what it reminds me of? The Exiles jerseys back in the day a little bit. The colour of green. It's obviously a completely different concept. And different.
A completely different design, but yeah.
But I think the green colour and the that sort of dark greeny colour reminds me of that. And I think this is obviously an amazing kit. And in my opinion, the best kit in the NRL. Obviously, there's probably not hundreds exactly, but there's a 50 plus because of all the special kits, home and away. We've gone through them all, and these are the ones we've picked. But obviously, it's very subjective. So,
we're going to have more kits as the year goes on.
Yeah.
More winning league, Anzac Day, everything else that goes on that they make a jersey for in Australia.
Anzac Day week, we'll be ranking the top 5 Anzac jerseys.
We are going to revisit this later on in the year and see how many of these actually stay in our top 5. Some of them may go up as we appreciate them more.
Yeah, in person they might look better.
Others perhaps might fall off the list, so be sure to check that out. If you've not checked out some of our previous videos, go check them out. We've got the main podcast that came out on Wednesday, and last week, 5 Super League breakout stars that look set to grace the NRL.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. Which of these players will be wearing your future jerseys?
Yeah, that is a good question.
But click the card in the top right to find out.
But what we also want is you to comment down below any that we've not necessarily missed, but ones that we haven't chosen that you think are all your teams. Tell us down below, NRL fans, who you're supporting, how you think your team's going to do. Obviously, this is coming out on the Saturday, which is the weekend of the NRL starting. So good luck to everyone's teams. We're going to be watching. It's going to be some great games.
Well done or commiserations if you already played and won or lost.
Won or lost, yep. And make sure you're checking out the main pod. Every Wednesday at 7, main pod. Saturday at 6 for the next video.
Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you next week.
See you later.